Yes, hi, I'm Tsedaniya. I'm the creative director at Manakristo Designs. Manakristo Designs is a small enterprise that focuses on using reclaimed wood and salvaged wood in the process of frame making. And we decided to do small batch productions, mainly because of the nature of reclaimed wood. It comes in smaller pieces, therefore you're not able to make dining tables or coffee tables or big beds or whatever with it. So we decided to stick to making home and office accessories and to showcase the value of reclaimed wood through what we do. So Manakristo Designs started in 2018, and our mission was to bridge the gap between what's imported and what we have locally. So Africa is rich in natural resources, but natural resources are also, they're finite, and you can't keep on cutting trees and using virgin wood constantly, because you can see the effect of that on the environment. So that's basically how we started. Through time, we started framing different art objects, artifacts, artworks, and things like that. And we started digging deeper into our heritage and culture. So, we started realizing some of the woods that we had historically within Kenya, for instance, are no longer available. That also meant that if you're making musical instruments from, back in the day from the coast, you can no longer make those musical instruments with the same kind of precision as our ancestors did, because the grasses that were used back then are now extinct. The trees and the seeds that were used back then are now extinct. So now you're forced to replace that and replicate it with something different. So the sounds are different, and you lose the integrity of what was there before. And that led us to start thinking more deeply about what it is that we do and how are we passing on the knowledge that we've had before, especially when we have our elders who are no longer there. And, one day we're also going to be gone. So what are we leaving behind for our children? As a mother to 3 children as well, I want my children to know what Africa means, and not just the 1 hour a week you learn in history class, basically, but at a much deeper level. So we started researching, and once you start researching, going into a rabbit hole where you're connecting different dots with different things, and you start thinking more about conservation and sustainability, and how do we introduce that to everyday life in a way that's a lot easier? So that means less shopping from non-renewable resources and using what we have in limited ways, and also changing the mindset that we have that new is not always the best, taking care of the old things that we have, taking care of the old knowledge and the indigenous knowledge that we have, so that when it's passed down, there's an integrity in it and there's a continuity in it, so that it does not end up dying with us, basically. So I signed up for Nairobi Design a few months back, and I've seen the things that they've been doing over the years. I didn't think it was a platform that was going to work for me initially. But this year I decided, let me give it a try and see how it works. So the whole process, they've been very hands-on. They've been very communicative. And I think one of the reasons that it appealed to me is that it helps bring people from not just Nairobi, which is normally the case with some markets, but throughout, Kenya, and sometimes even from other parts of Africa as well, And if you look around, if you have a chance to come here and look around, you will see how things are so different, how there's so many different brands, and they can be run by different people from different tribes, different cultures, different backgrounds, and all that kind of stuff. But what makes everything cohesive is that everything is handmade, everything is made in Kenya, made in Africa. And I don't think you can get more authentic than that when you're bringing in stories either through culture and heritage or through indigenous knowledge or, fashion and art, And I think one of the things that stands out here more than anywhere else is that there's space for digital creators to come and have a space. You normally don't see that anywhere, you know? So if you're in media, if you're in, graphics, if you're in art, you don't normally find a platform where you can bring all these together and showcase your work, build your platform, and, bring in awareness to how fast the digital scene in Africa is really changing, and especially in Kenya, how things are moving so fast. So, the small person who's just sitting behind a screen at home now gets an opportunity like this to come and, show what they have. And I think that's a lovely thing to do, and just bring, different designers and different creatives together, and for us to actually see what the other person is doing, and also understand that, oh, I didn't know this was there, or I didn't know that was there, So sometime back, I know Nairobi Design did a virtual reality kind of thing. And normally you only see that in shopping malls where you sit in that chair and your kids are playing on it. But now as adults, we get to experience that, So I think it's a great platform to have something like that. And if you get a chance, please come and visit and have a look.